Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of our Transport Fever 2 build, our Chicago Northwestern Theme 1. This is episode 7, and we had a lot go on last episode. As you just saw, we have passenger rail lines now going on. Our cities are exploding in size now as the connections grow, and we want to keep that going. Our goal here is to eventually connect all the cities on the map and get them all of their demands satisfied. So both of their whatever commodities are, we want to get them delivered to every city on the map using the Chicago Northwestern theme mods and assets that we have available to us. So I want to start off by showing you I did some work off camera between episodes to address a few different issues that I saw after I stopped recording the last episode. First of all, we've got quite a bit of food built up here, so I added a second train that's coming up to help get that food off the line. So we have two freight trains now operating on this line. The other big things I did though were more in the cities. So to help with the growth down here, because we have some massive growth, I added a third fuel line to help deal with that. Because if you look, our other fuel lines are up over here, and then if you were to look, you can see, this is all down here. So we want to make sure, I wanted to make sure we're still meeting all the needs that are present over here. The biggest piece though is over in Miramar. I had to retool some of the roads. Notice this is now 2 lanes right here, and it connects straight through to here versus connecting and jogging up. There's a huge traffic jam up here that was stalling all of our public transport, our vehicles delivering goods, everything. And so, we got enough. Good deal. And so I wanted to make sure that we got that fixed, and it's not really something that looks really good or solid on a YouTube video. So I went ahead and took care of that, and I made sure to try and establish some space for future growth as well. So those are the things that I took care of off camera. As you can see, we're doing pretty well. We got 66 people needing to ride the Peninsula 400 just here in Miramar alone. And then look at this over here. Crazy demand over here. And then if we go over here, not as much because we've been finally kind of addressing the demand, getting to it. But we're working on this as well, because you can see there's a backlog of people in the city trying to get over to the station, so that'll go up as well. But if you look, we're crazy profitable, which again is kind of rare for passenger rail. We've got 4 trains going now. They're completely full. We could probably stand to get another one, but we're going to get to that here in a little bit. We're going to start off this episode by working on helping boost our original industry line here. So, I mentioned at the end, I think at the end of the last episode, certainly during part of the last episode, that, one of the problems is these trains come up 144, they come back with 72, because it takes 2 crude oil to make 1 oil. And so, the way that we can fix that to help with our efficiency is, I'm going to pause this real fast, is by connecting this oil well over here up to here and dropping it off. That way these guys have more to do when they come back. So I'm going to start by getting, we should be okay there. No, I want to get rid of this for reasons you'll see in a minute. I want to lengthen this station just to help with, because I only want to really send 1 train down there, so I want to make it a longer train. And I want to shift the existing route over to this left platform, so that way our new line can come in from over here, come to this platform on the right, and call it good. So I'm going to delete that real fast. delete that real fast. Okay. And let's get our line moved. Perfect. Alright, now let's build our new line. It's not going to let me right there because I have signals. That's okay. So you only get it, yep, up to 50 miles an hour. Perfect. Okay. So we're going to build that there. Now we've got some some massive elevation changes here, so we're going to deal with that. We're going to flatten, set this as our base size, and just make kind of a channel that our train's going to pass through here. Perfect. Okay, so we've got that smoothed out. That'll help us out tremendously because, again, I want to do one train, and if it's fighting a bunch of terrain changes, it's going to slow it down. We don't want that. There we go. And honestly, this helps hide it from the rest of the folks in the city, which is good. Alright, now where do we want to place? Trying to figure out where I want to place this station. Here maybe? Let's see. Can I do the longest length one? That almost takes over the whole island if we do it like this. Let's just do 240 for now. Let's see. Yeah, that looks good. The reason why I want to hold off because we need to, we need some space to ramp up for a bridge. That's the main thing here that we need to make sure we address. There we go. Yep, and that's perfect. Okay. Ah, stop it. I want to go ahead and do it like that, just so that way we're going to want to expand the highway eventually. And let's see. Yes, okay. Finally have some new bridge options available. Let's do this. That looks good. Simple, clean. Still fits though. Like you would expect to see a bridge like that. Perfect. And alright, that looks really clean. Really clean. I'm very happy with that. Okay. Alright, now I know we just destroyed that depot. I just did that so we could extend the station. I'm actually going to rebuild it now. Let's build our route. Maybe it's just, yep, there we go. Okay, and all the way up to right there. We're going to call it Hartford Oil Run 2. And let's go ahead and build a train for it. Alright. Let's do, yeah, we'll do a double GP7. Okay, we'll try it. We'll start with 144. Now, I'm only going to do one train for now. I think it's going to be plenty. If for some reason we need more, I'm not going to double track this. I'm going to actually treat this, you know, like a branch line. We'll have maybe a passing siding somewhere in the middle here, maybe in this cut that we made. But that's really it. I don't want to double track it for just one operation. I don't think it's necessary. So let's go ahead and unpause it. Oh yeah, let's signalize. There we go. Okay, so is this populating? It is, so that's good there. Okay, let's check and see how passenger trains are doing. Looking pretty good. Yep, we're still making plenty of money. Excellent. So there's not a ton of demand there. There is a ton of demand there. And there's a ton of demand there. So I'm going to go ahead and get another vehicle on the line just to help with that. Okay. So the next thing, the main thing we're going to work on here is connecting this oil sands up to right here. That gets us, for every 2 oil sands you get a fuel, but you also get a sand. So obviously the fuel we're going to run over here into Springfield, but then also pretty backlogged here. What's our vehicle situation like? Let's kick that up to 20. There we go. Okay. But then also the sand, we want to then truck the other way down our main line up here to start making construction materials. And then now eventually we'll start chucking construction materials over to Billings, Temecula, Flint, but for now we're just going to come back over here and get going here. Let's up the vehicle count here as well. Okay, so that's where we're going to start next. So let's go ahead and build. Let's build our cargo station. This one I will build out fully. Angle it a little bit, make it a little easier to merge on. Okay, and then it's our nearest signal. There it is. Okay. All right, keeps the speed pretty strong. Do want to double track this all the way up to right around here. Get this properly signalized. Okay, good. Alright, now the next thing here is going to be, we want to get our truck line going. So that way we're good to go. Once we build the line, it's already ready to go. Yep, let's see here. I think I'm just going to have a curve right into here. Yep, I think that's going to look good. Okay. Now, I think that's the, that looks like the stop right there. Okay. So then let's expand these streets out a little bit. That way it has a nice loop to complete. See if we can't upgrade this. Oh, that's going to want to make, that's annoying. Yeah, we'll fix it that way. Okay. Let's get this configured. There we go. Now, where am I putting this? Right there. Let's make it an orange color since it is a fuel line after all. Okay. I like that. Alright, so that's primed and ready. Let's go ahead and add our line here. Call it Springfield Oil Sands. And we're going to have it, looks like, gotta throw our switches in here. Makes sense. We'll throw it in back here. We're going to be building some long trains for this station, so I'm giving myself plenty of space. Oh, I see. I hadn't done any signals yet, which made sense because we haven't used this part of the freight line yet. Okay. I think we're finally ready. See if that changes it. Yep, it does. Now we're using both tracks. Perfect. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and build our line here. Now, oil sands takes, I think it's yep, no, that's slag. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay, it does take a flat car. Alright. Alright, let's do 198 because we still have a decent acceleration rating there. So let's do that and oil sands. There we go. And we should see this starting to stock. Yep, we do. Now, oil sands is slow. It's not like oil where, it's just like spewing that stuff out constantly. It takes a while to get this going. So that's why I wanted to get this line started. Speaking of, how are we doing here? Okay, we're starting to heat up. Starting to actually get a decent amount of oil. That's good. And yep, you can see the impact here. It's got plenty stored, which means, yep, look, this one's taken 108 back. So we're already starting to see an effect, which is good because right now, now it just ran out as this train arrived. I mean, that's what we want. We want to make sure there's no downtime in terms of production. Okay, how are we doing over here? Still looking pretty good. That's nice and full. There's still plenty of demand there. Okay, so we need a train to run back past this, up and over. Now I'm going to do a couple things here. I'm going to actually start by extending this out a little bit. Because the one challenge we're going to have is this line needs to jut north past this. And we don't want to mess this up because we're eventually going to run another passenger line over to this trio of cities here. And we don't want to slow that down. So the reason I'm doing that is because, if I can get this to cooperate, we're going to have this branch line go up and over. I want to literally bridge it out. So, let's see here. Okay, there we go, getting it started. Perfect. And I want to do this bridge type again. I like it. I think it really fits. Okay. The key is I want a broad turn. And this is going to be, oops, you know, it's going to be elevated for a bit. And I say that because I also want it to cross over this highway and then come back down. So alright, make sure it's nice and smooth. I think it is. But I need this to be able to get over to the left-hand main. So let's back this up just a little bit. So that way we have enough room. What? That was weird. Okay, there we go. That'll be perfect. Okay, so it's going to swing up and over like this. And actually, I'm going to detour this slightly. Just so that way I don't have to make that bridge crazy long. And also give it a little bit of a speed upgrade. There we go. Perfect. Okay, that's down. Alright. Turns time back on. Ooh, nope, nope, nope. Whole goal was to avoid another bridge before there we go. Now we can do a bridge. Okay, let's build this up. Alright, so it's too much slope, so let's back off. Alright, let's build our station. I am going to build multiple tracks because eventually, like I said, we will have, you know, other lines come in here. So let's go ahead and prep for that. We don't need, there we go. Okay. That looks pretty good. That is a long, long journey though, I'll tell you what. Let's signalize this real fast just to have that ready. So basically how this route's going to go is the train's going to start here, it's going to pick up the sand, it's going to travel all the way up here, drop it off, pick up construction materials, drop it off here, and then redo the loop. Now one other piece we got to do, I just thought about as I was mapping through that, we got to get another line ready. And we also need to edit this and make sure that the only thing that this thing is picking up is products. And then we'll edit the other one to make sure the only thing it's picking up is construction materials. Because as we get later into the game, and especially on our trains, when we start to do the intermodals that can carry virtually any cargo, you're going to start to see some really funky things happen where they pick up items you never thought they'd pick up unless you are a little more mindful in your control. So let's build a drop-off point for our construction materials. This seems like an ideal location right here. Let's go ahead and upgrade our streets. Okay. Trying to figure out how we want to loop this back around. Okay. And we're going to make this red. That one's already, let's make this dark red. I don't like flipping UEs, so let's add a waypoint. There we go. Perfect. Alright, so this is Grand Prairie, if I can spell it right. ConMats, construction materials. Okay. How many guys do we have on this? Let's fix that. And then let's get enough in this new line. Okay. And so we got a growth in our demand here as well. Okay. Looking good. I think we're ready. Let's add it in. Alright, let's get this on the right track there. I want that on track 3. It's going to come all the way up over to here. And then it's going to come over here. And then back. Okay, so this is Grand Prairie, sand, ConMats. I am going to change this. I'm going to move this over to track 2 because this one is going to be going left coming back, so I want it to stop this way. Okay, now this one's going to be a beast of a train. And here's why. It's going to be a similar problem that we had for our planks and products train, in that the sand goes here in this gondola, but then construction materials comes back on this flat car. So I'm not only going to do a double GP7, I'm actually going to throw a third one on. And let's see, sand. I'm going to take that up to 108. That's 1, 2, 3, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And the reason I'm doing more is because, remember, 1 sand becomes 2 construction materials. So we're going to have that issue eventually. Alright. And we're coming on the line. Now, it's going to go and run this way first. I'm actually okay with that because we need time for it to produce some sand. It's going to be, again, it's going to be slow. But this is going to help this level up because, see, you know, it's pretty low demand, which in turn means this is taking its time, and it's, look at it, it's only producing 200, right? It's not producing a ton. because it doesn't think that there's a whole lot of need. So we need that to build up here pretty quick. All right, while that's going, the other big thing that we need to finally do is deal with this. All right, we've reached the point now where we absolutely need to extend our passenger line down and over because our buses are not handling it, right? We've got, plenty of buses on the line. Part of it is the traffic, part of it is it's just we've outgrown that medium. So it's time to use those assets. So I got some overhead train stations right here. And assuming the game doesn't crash on me, there we go. When you load an asset for the first time, like when you actually build it, it takes a little bit to actually load it in. That's why when I build like a new train, there's like a slight delay. Anyway, so I want to build it right around here, so that way it connects to our existing infrastructure. I do think, there we go. Alright, I'm going to build it right there. And then whoa. See that? The city already built on that road. It's like, yes please, we want that. Okay, except no, because I gotta make sure I get my tracks built out. Oops. No, I want to keep it elevated. And again, this is actually true to life. The Ogilvy, the main, people used to call it the C&W station. Now it's the Ogilvy Transportation Center. It's still there for Metra. There we go. All of its tracks are elevated. The platforms are all above street level, and so this is super on brand for the Northwestern. So it's super exciting. Except I realized I made a goof, and can I configure this? Yes, I can. Oh, thank goodness. Okay, good deal. All right. I do want, high-speed rail, obviously, and I want catenary, so I wanted to make sure that that's all up there. Now, the other big thing I'm going to do is, well, let's go ahead, slow game time down just a little bit, because we have a similar thing here. The other reason I need this to be elevated is because, this needs to come around. Because if you look, right, we've got, oops, I need to delete this temporarily. This is on the opposite side . Let's see if we can't do something like this. It's on the opposite side of the freight line from where it needs to be for Hartford. So we're going to build it out. Nope. No, thank you. What are we doing? Okay, I think that's good. Yep, okay. So starting right here, it's really trying to get me to snap to the other tracks. Starting right here is where it needs to be elevated, because it needs to get up and over. And I'm just going to keep it elevated, assuming it'll let me. It's really wanting me to snap the tracks to the existing lines. There we go. How does that look? That looks pretty solid. That, you know, turn speed's not great, but I think that's just the nature of the beast. And again, if you know the Ogilvy station and what that home stretch is, you're not going that fast on those elevated tracks, so it's okay. Okay. Now, the one dilemma we have is the game does not like... Oh. Okay. Maybe I stand corrected. I was going to say the game does not like building switches on bridges, but then it just let me do that. So never mind. I stand completely corrected. Okay. Alright, well let's signalize, modify our existing route, and this will be the complete Peninsula 400. I don't want to include any other cities. I mentioned taking passenger rail to those other 3 cities. We'll do a different route. We'll kind of make Grand Prairie a little mini hub there to deal with that. Don't need 3 signals right there. Let's get rid of one of them. There we go. Okay. And let's go ahead and build. We will need a depot. What do we get? What do we get? Ooh, okay. Some big freight cars. I'm not a huge fan of those, but I'm more excited about those trucks. That is exciting news. Now let's go ahead and build our depot, and then we'll play around with those trucks here in a minute. Okay, I'm going to pause, because this is going to be a little bit tricky, because Miramar is the very first station on the route. So let's do this, actually. Add a station. We're going to remove Miramar. We're going to add Miramar back. Line 1. It's going to go to Springfield, Grand Prairie South, Springfield, and it's going to go to Miramar. On track 2. Yep, which is where I want, because it's going left. And then it's going to come all the way back around. And it's going to start right there. Okay. Now, I'm going to go ahead and actually add several vehicles in anticipation, because there's just a lot more ground to cover now, because we've added Hartford, and there's, you know, a decent bit of distance. And I want to make sure that we don't mess this all up. Now, this will be the fun part. Hartford to Miramar, manage the vehicles, sell all the vehicles. Hartford to Miramar, manage the line, delete the line. Now watch all these people. If we did this right, they should immediately walk over to this station. Yeah, and almost like they're marching a little bit. Okay. So they should be headed that way. Okay. I'm going to pause for one last thing we're going to do, and then we're going to assess the map, and then I think we are done, actually. We need to fix this. This is no bueno. This is no good at all. This traffic. I mean, look at how far back this traffic congestion is. I mean, it goes back all the way. Almost back. It does. The traffic literally does not stop from Miramar all the way over. What are we doing over here? Oh, there's a fresh delivery. That's okay. That's a problem. So, part of the issue is as soon as they hit their first intersection, it just kind of stops. So what we're going to do, we're going to back that up completely. Back that up completely. Oh, my trucks are there. Darn it. That's okay. All right. We want... large highway. And we're going to curve it. Let's extend the length a little bit here. Okay. It's not perfect. This makes me wish I was playing City Skylines, where you can see kind of the grid. Ugh. That is the lumpiest circle I've ever seen in my life. There, we'll go with that. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. This is just the one. Yeah. There. Now I can get rid of it. Okay. We're just going to build a giant roundabout to help us with our traffic situation here. So I'm going to, let's see here. Yep, so I'm going to have this one feed in like that. I'm going to have this one feed in like this. Upgrade that to a 6-lane road. And then this one's going to come in, so that's going to give us a new avenue. So basically that way, for the folks that are coming in, they don't have just one option to get into the city now. Hopefully this helps take a little bit of pressure off of that. And then finally, and I think we've got, a nice modern looking concrete bridge. I love it. And they're going to come right down into here. And right down into here. So again, this way we got a nice smooth loop for them to go to. And then the other main thing I want to do here is upgrade this. We're going to lose not a ton of buildings actually. Okay. Up until right here, because now we're kind of getting into a residential area. But this should help out quite a bit. And then the other thing is we don't have any, we don't have any 2-lane roads for our fuel traffic coming through here. So let's fix that. So that should be good. Then also don't like this. Let's get rid of this as well. Let's make this a through road right here. And let's move, I'm trying to think where we can put our connection. Maybe right here. Okay, let's see if we can raise that. We can. Build it like this. I'm okay with that. We have a better bridge, get us across. We can always look at doing another one over here. But I think that's putting us in good shape. Alright, that was a lot of work. And yep, our demand just keeps coming, which is good. We want that. Let's go back and check on our efforts over here. Alright, we got 103 sand waiting for us, which is just about perfect. Yeah, look, we've lost a lot of money because it hasn't done anything yet. In fact, I'm going to manage the line. I'm going to make sure at Springfield East, all it does is load sand. At Billings, all it does is load construction materials, and it's not going to load anything. It's just going to unload at Grand Prairie. Okay, so we've got that all set up. And look, we're leveling. Beautiful. That'll help us out with, how are we looking over here at Springfield? Yeah, we're starting to get some fuel. We're getting some growth. We're pushing 1,000 on that city. How's Miramar looking? 1332. Could be up to 1,400. So we're seeing that growth. That's awesome. Hartford. Well, look at that. We could be up to 1,500, and it's growing right now. So that's a good sign. And look, our roundabout's working. It's helping get traffic to where it needs to be. So we should start to see this clear out here in a little bit. It just might take some time, and that's okay. All right, let's go find our train. I think it's flying through here. Yep. Wait a minute. I thought I set this up. I did not. See what I mean? It's trying to do products. We don't want that. We only want construction materials. There we go. Oh, the other thing I want to do is when it gets to Billings, I'm going to have it wait for a full load, but then I'm only going to make it wait like 60 seconds. Just so that way it doesn't come back completely empty-handed, especially on this first trip. Speed up our time even more. And the big thing for me is it's keeping up its top speed, which is, again, for a long line like this. And I know that looks kind of rough right now that we're like 5 million in the hole. That's going to get made up rapidly. It's going to improve very quickly as we start to see. I mean, look at that. Just made 3 million just off of this leg alone. It's going to wait just a little bit to get some construction materials. And then it's on its way. Okay, good deal. So we'll do a time jump here in a moment, folks, so that way you can kind of see how things are going. And then that's where we'll wrap up the episode. Alright, this has taken off like gangbusters here on multiple levels. So our freight routes are booming, as well as our passenger routes. As you can see, coming right out of the depot right here, I need another oil sands train because of growth there. But also, you just saw 2 passenger trains cross by. Check this out. I've got 10 trains on the line, and we're at full capacity. That's bonkers. And so that's really awesome. Our products production has exploded. Grand Prairie as a city is really taking off. because let's go over here and check this out. Right now they're getting their second product need satisfied, their construction materials, so they're starting to get that modifier, which has had a huge impact on population. And so now demand is up for here. We're going to probably need in the next video a second train on this route, because although this one's coming right here, it's already well above the capacity of this train, so that's sitting in great shape. Like I said, I added a second line or second train to this line because look at how much oil sands we have right now. Our plastics trains had to be upgraded because our production's up here. And then over here, we've already upgraded our first level. And so you can see the only thing holding us back now is the fact that we don't have any inventory right now, right? We're in a production lull, which obviously this is going to help right now, but getting that second train means it'll be more constant. Yeah, like that's a full train right there. Perfect. So the other thing then is, let's see. So yeah, demand, look at that. 235 folks are just trying to get down to Miramar, and that's again with 10 trains on the line already, and they're all full, right? So Springfield now has just absolutely exploded. It's up to 1,100, could be up to 1,200, and that's because its fuel needs are being met. And then down over here, Miramar is up to 1,400, could be closer to 1,600, in terms of growth potential, and starting to develop down into this area that I set up right here. Traffic is a little bit better. Remember, this is backed up all the way over here. It's starting to jam up over here, so we've still got some work to do. You can see, still got some issues here, but then over here, still have high demand. This area is starting to develop up, which is great. We're looking really good. Hartford's sitting at 1,500, could be 1,700. So we'll need to see about how can we provide some more space for growth to help it get up to its full potential. But hey, you know what? Next episode, we're not even really going to touch on this at all, because we are going to go across the map down to the opposite corner here to Port St. Lucie? I don't know. I'm sure it's got to be a French origin there, and I'm sure I'm mispronouncing it. But we're going to start building up our Pennsylvania Railroad right here next episode. And it's because this place needs machines and tools. And, we have an easy way right here to build tools to start growing. But more importantly, it's because we can really start to make some money by taking some of those tools and flying them to the opposite corner of the map and deploying them over here. And we've got a machines factory on this corner of the map. So if we fly tools in and then fly machines out back to this corner of the map, we're going to make crazy money. And that'll allow us to develop our Pennsylvania Railroad, let it come up here, and eventually link up. And it's going to be awesome. So that'll be next episode. But thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe as we keep building up this map. We're already into 1966, so we're going to start to see some cool stuff. SD40s. We're going to see some cool passenger equipment coming out soon. It's going to be a good time. So thanks for tuning in. Again, we'll see you next episode. Thanks.